have something to tell you. First of all, I know you've seen the title of this video, so before I jump into everything, I just want to say, please, like and subscribe, because maybe you're binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. So, oh, I forgot to say, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I'm on a vibe today, and my glasses are so gross. Hi! Okay, so, oh my god, I'm opening up a plant shop. What? Okay, so here's what happened, because you guys are gonna be like, Ashley, you work in a nursery, what is going on? So, 3 weeks ago, I got a really bad bug bite from working at that nursery. It's pretty gone now, but it was right here, and you guys can probably still see it a little bit. And in all the last videos I've posted where you can see my arm, you guys can see this bright, hot tomato red welt on my arm. Basically, what that has done to me is it has made me, I developed cellulitis on my arm, which no, is not cellulite, okay? That is different. Cellulitis is a bacteria that corrodes your skin and spreads. It can then get into your bloodstream and give you a blood infection that you have to stay at the hospital for a while. So, it's a pretty big deal. I got really sick from my bite. I developed a fever. I developed shakes, colds, chills. I woke up in the middle of the night before I actually went to the hospital when I learned that I actually had cellulitis and like an antibiotic. I had an infection in my arm, basically is what it is. And I woke up in the middle of the night scratching my arm. I was scratching in my sleep, which has never happened to me before, and my arm was covered in hives. And I had a fever, and I just felt like I felt numb. I didn't feel like I could feel anything. I didn't have an appetite. So we went to the hospital. Long story short, I don't have COVID. They made me get a COVID test. They did a rapid test. It was negative, obviously, because I have an infection in my arm. So they gave me these 2 antibiotics, which were Bactrim and Cephalexin, and then they made me take and I know this is like not related to the plant store at all, but this is really important for how I got to this point. Also, this is bothering me, so I'm just gonna move it up there. They also had me on this anti-itch medicine called like hydroxyzone or something, and it makes you tired. So I was on 2 antibiotics because they weren't sure what had bit me, and there's only 2 different like bites that can, 2 different like bacteria that can cause what was happening to me, and they didn't know which one it was, so they just put me on both. And I'm still waiting to hear back on if I have Lyme's disease, because they're worried that I do have Lyme's. I do not need any armchair doctors to help me figure that out, because I did have a blood test and I am waiting to hear back from it. So, but I've been just ridiculously tired to the point where I cannot stay awake, and it has affected me to the point where when I go to work, which is 6 hours in the hot sun in 100-degree weather, watering plants and picking up plants, checking them for rot, pruning plants, I would just sleep for the rest of the week. And this has been going on for me for like the last 3-ish weeks. It's almost been a month now, I think, since I actually got bit. Maybe, I think just 3 weeks since that, and 4 weeks since I started working there. So TLDR, okay, I was just so tired, and when I was hanging out with Sydney, actually, when we were done filming that video, we went to just like another Home Depot, like just to kind of go. And as I was parking, I actually fainted while I was parking. It was only for a couple seconds, but I literally as I was like pulling into a parking spot and sliding it into park, I just like felt my eyes roll into the back of my head, and I just kind of slumped over in my seat, and I just went, whoa, and I passed out. She then drove us back home, and we hung out for a little bit longer, but like that video that you saw last time, I was sick in that video. I didn't look sick because infections don't really make you like look anything, you just feel it. And I'm not gonna come on here and be like, oh, boo-hoo me, I'm sick. Like, I just kind of disappeared from YouTube for like a week or 2, which is why you haven't seen any videos. So because this tiredness has still been going on, I did just finish my antibiotics today, so I don't know if that is something that is going to just like go away or not, but I have just been ridiculously tired, and it doesn't really make sense. The whole reason I got that job at that nursery was to hopefully move into their houseplant manager position that they had an availability for. Me and another girl were going up against each other for the position, and just like honestly just because of my health. Like a couple other things had happened during the last 2 weeks when I was there that were just like, my car broke down one of the days and a manager had to come bail me out, and it was really embarrassing. A couple times that I was supposed to open, the computers just wouldn't turn on, and then I couldn't do the rest of the opening procedures. There was going to the doctor. I had food poisoning as well the week that I had, which honestly probably wasn't even food poisoning. It was probably because of my bite, but I was so sick to my stomach I could not stop going to the bathroom, if you know what I mean. So I know all of this is like a lot, just like all this information at you, but this is important, okay? So all that led me to quit my job. After all this stuff has kind of like when you go work at a job, you can't just like not go into work. And I have been too tired to the point where when I do go into work for those 3 days, the rest of the week I just can't even do anything because all I can do is sleep. I'm not even kidding, I have been logging my sleep because I keep track of it in my bullet journal. It's been 15-hour sleeps, 17-hour sleeps, and if it's not those big sleeps, it's me going to sleep for a couple hours every few hours. So I'm only awake for 2 to 3 hours at a time, and it is just not healthy. And I'm just trying to figure out, we're trying to figure out like the Lyme disease thing, and it's just, whatever has happened to me has changed my body composition to the point where I have a really, really hard time staying awake. So I was like, you know what? I have all these houseplants. I'm just gonna open my own damn plant shop because I can do my own hours. I don't have to report to anyone. I don't mess up anyone else's schedule because it's true. I had to call in people to cover for me, and that threw off the shift of their nursery and was definitely creating problems there. And the last thing I want to do, I just felt like I was a burden because for some reason my life has been so smooth for the last few weeks, and then all of a sudden, bam, I get a job there, and bam, my car breaks down and I have to go buy a new car battery, and all this stuff happened. So I was like the whole point is that I did quit my job to start a plant shop, but it was also because I've been really sick, and I'm really sorry for not telling you guys that I've been sick. A couple people have been like, her channel's dead. Last time I checked, our channel is growing faster in subscribers than it ever has, so I would really go, oh my god, I started a plant shop. I can't tell you the name of it yet because I'm still getting it licensed as an LLC, so I don't want to be like, here's my plant name, and then it's not licensed yet, and then like someone else goes and steals it. Oh my god, I'm so excited, and I actually have my plant shop here. And the whole goal is that sometime in the next 2 years, I do want to move it to a brick and mortar store, but I am definitely going to be selling online. I actually just did my first sale on Instagram, and right now I can't really afford to buy a domain name, and I don't really want to do business like through a website. So if I do business, if I do business, it will be through my Etsy, which is right now still the Plant Crossing, which is not what I'm going to be naming my plant shop. Oh my god, I'm talking a mile a minute. I'm just excited. I'm really excited, okay? Basically, yes. So it is going to be a local shop where people do local pickup. I am not giving out my address. I am going to be meeting people at various different locations, and then hopefully getting into the Saturday market once COVID, lets the Saturday market start happening again, to have a little tent, show up with some plants, sell some plants at Saturday market, kind of get myself worked into the community here in Boise, and eventually opening up my actual own brick and mortar houseplant store selling uncommon and rare houseplants here in Boise. That is the absolute end goal. I feel kind of crazy about it because in my head I kept thinking, I have to go work at a nursery, I have to go be a houseplant manager at a different nursery before I can ever do it for myself. And then I was like, I'm not even gonna be able to do this until I'm like in my 30s or 40s. So like, there's no reason even trying because I'm just not gonna even be able to afford it. But then I was like, you know what? Why the heck can't I do this now? Like, I have so many houseplants. I can take cuttings, propagate them, grow them into plants, and then sell them, or sell them locally as unrooted cuttings so that the cost is cheaper. People can get a hold of these more uncommon plants easier, root them themselves. I'm just like, what the heck? I kind of just realized, like, I'm so dumb. Why not? Why can't I do this? Okay, I am gonna do it. Told Chris about it, told him I quit my job. He was like, I'm so happy for you. I've been wanting you to do this forever, and I'm so glad that you're finally taking your future into your hands and doing it. Because Christopher right now is also doing it. He is making his very own video game, which has been his lifelong dream. So Christopher and I are just doing it. We're doing it. So, oh my god, I started a plant shop. I'm gonna show you my plant shop. It's here. It's ratchet as hell, but oh my god, it's here. But first, before I show you that plant shop, I did get permission from Chris to use some of our honeymoon money because as you guys know, we haven't really gone on a honeymoon. Like, we kind of like checked into a hotel for like 2 days, but like we wanted to go to Disney World for 2 weeks, so we have money set aside to do that once COVID actually blows over, because we do not want to go to a theme park during COVID. Like, don't do that, that's stupid. So we have money set aside, and he let me borrow just a little bit of that money to be able to invest in some plants that I have really been wanting, that over time I can start cutting down and taking propagations of. So the problem is that it's just, I've never, like, I would be so set right now if I had just taken propagations and grown myself a couple of those plants instead of growing those plants and then just selling them. Because I still have all of my original mother plants, but I could have made myself like multiples of those and then had those to work with. But basically I'm having to build up my collection again as well, because as you guys know, in order for us to move, I had to sell a bunch of my plants. So I'm building up my collection, and why not start with the wish list that I made? And I'm not kidding you, I shot that video before I ever even thought about quitting my job to do my own plant shop. So it was just like a really weird timing. So I'm gonna haul you guys the plants. I'm looking at them right here. They are so freaking cool. I am so excited to show you them. But like, these are literally the plants from my wish list. I made that wish list video. It went up last week, and then this Thursday I ordered these plants, and now they're here. And I do have an import that is obviously not here yet, so I will be showing you guys that import, and I'm not gonna tell you what I imported, but I think I'm importing like 13 plants. All of the plants are ethically sourced, and I got this source from one of my amazing houseplant collector friends. So I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to be sharing that information. I am doing an import, and I will be able to show you guys those plants, but all those plants that I am importing are not going to be for sale. They're going to be my plants, and then over time, as they get bigger, I will be able to cut them down once they get too big, and then those are the plants that I will turn into propagations, and then we will go from there. But oh my god, I'm doing it! Like, this has been my dream, and I don't know why I thought that I couldn't do it, because now it seems so silly that like I wouldn't think that I could do it, but like I'm doing it, and I'm here, and I'm going to show you the plants that I ordered, and then I'm going to show you my shop. Are you even ready for this? Okay, so first of all, I do have to say that I have a lot of plant mail coming this week. I am in the process of doing 3 trades right now, and all 3 of those trades are for plants that are on my wish list. So remember how I made that wish list and I was like, it's gonna take me decades to get these plants. Well, for some of them, yeah, like I'm never going to probably ever own those plants. But for probably 10 of the plants on my wish lists, I have either traded for or purchased or been gifted. I'm not even kidding you. One of my amazing houseplant friends decided to buy me one of my wish list plants because it was on my wish list, and she also has a tiny little version of another wish list plant that I have that she decided to just send me. Here are the plants from my wish list, and one of them wasn't on my wish list, but it's been on all of my previous wish lists. Okay, we're gonna start off with the 2 most exciting plants first. These are variegated philodendron hederaceum. These are from Peace, Love, and Happiness Club, which is a houseplant shop in Seattle, Washington. And I have gone and visited them in person, and I have done a houseplant video there, which you can just search Peace, Love, Happiness Club, Plant Me Ashley. It'll be the first thing that pops up. It's one of my most popular videos of all time. Literally, it is just a rare plant shop. And they got these amazing, gorgeous little plants. And the reason why I love these so much is just because I do not like pothos. I'm really sorry, Max. I know Max loves pothos. I just don't like them at all. It's the waxy texture of the leaves. They feel like fake silk plants, and I don't like how their stems feel. It feels like plastic. It's not even like how they look, because they look pretty. It's the texture of the plant. It like, ugh. I literally get goosebumps. They gross me out, and I don't know why. I'm really sorry. I do not like the texture of pothos. But hey, this variegated philodendron is nice. It's smooth. It's soft to the touch. It almost feels like rubbery and just nice. And it's got smooth petioles, not like rigid, edgy petioles. It's just nice. And on top of that, this specific one looks like the coloring on an Ilsamanii. This is the most gorgeous one. And then I got this one as well, which it says limit 1 per order. So obviously I did 2 separate orders. So these came with 2 orders, but they boxed up all the plants and sent them to me at once, which was super nice of them. And I can't even believe they let me get 2 of these. I was expecting to get an email saying, hey, you can actually only have 1 of these. They sent me both of them. I did pay for both of them, by the way. Their prices for them are expensive, but not more expensive than Etsy, eBay, and Facebook. You'll be able to see the prices on their website. I know that they do still have more available, so that is definitely the cheapest place that you guys are going to find this philodendron anywhere on the market right now, unless you can trade for it. I did have a girl that I was working with trading with for one of these, but I ended up not having any of the plants on her wish list. So, but these guys are just incredible, and they remind me of just like, specifically just like the Ilsamanii, which is obviously my favorite houseplant of all time. And it looks way cooler than the Marble Queen and Snow Queen pothos. I just love it. It's like a very sporty type of variegation, and I'm just a fan of that. So we'll just stick with the Peace, Love, and Happiness Club plants first, and then we'll move on. Then I have this is pretty big, okay? Like, this is a huge plant. This plant has like 14 nodes, so like, it's tall. When I bought this plant, I thought I was buying a very, very small plant, and it was 50% off, which is the big reason why I was attracted to buying this. So I guess, I don't know why it's like not so popular right now, but this is the Philodendron Dark Lord, and yes, you'll notice it is still in its packaging. They do package these in semi-hydro, so there are little leca balls in here, which is pretty cool. I like that they do semi-hydro because plants honestly prefer semi-hydro. I'm just too lazy to convert all my plants to hydro. But if they come in semi-hydro, I'm so down with that. And it actually needs to be watered because the leaf is kind of curling. This is a Philodendron Dark Lord, and you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, Ashley, that's not a Dark Lord, that's just a black cardinal. And to that I will say that this is an immature plant. This one, which has come in, actually is starting to take the shape of like the kind of like Dracula. It almost looks like Dracula spreading out his cape and it tapering down. But obviously this plant needs water because its new leaf is kind of curling in, which it shouldn't be doing. And the bottom of the leaf is the typical kind of hot pink, almost Lenaamii-like color on the very back, which I don't know if it's coming through at all that is the color, but it is so freaking gorgeous, and I can absolutely not wait. I can't wait to see it become its true potential because she is so gorgeous. Philodendron Dark Lord, this has been on my wish list since the very, very beginning. The last plant I got from Peace, Love, and Happiness Club is gonna blow you away, okay? Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats, hold on to them. You can't get blown away. Ah! Okay, also this plant you can tell is also kind of curling in. It is also in leca, so I need to water these. But this is the variegated Philodendron Giganteum, which is basically the same thing as the variegated domesticum. I know, yes, they are 2 different species, but they look identical, and that is all that matters. Because I guess the domesticum that is variegated is really, really, really hard to find, and what most people actually are seeing is Giganteum. So honestly, they're interchangeable in my wishlist book, and this is gorgeous. This plant is huge for its price. This plant was not at all expensive for what I would consider to be expensive because it has 4 whole leaves, and it is obviously a top cutting, so it's actually growing in its newest leaf right now. But look at that. Like, are you actually kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? This is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I love, love, love white variegation, and just like the fact that this can even exist blows me away. And on top of that, like the icing on the cake is that the petioles are noticeably variegated. Oh my god, how could I ask for anything better? This is just such an amazing houseplant, and I can't even believe it, and we're not even done. It is a plant that I've been genuinely obsessed with ever since I very first saw it in Christiana's collection. She used to be Jungle Portland Northwest, and when I saw that on her story like a year and a half ago, it blew my mind. I got 2 of them. One of them was sold to me by a local girl who someone else referred me to because she was selling it for super cheap because unfortunately she has to have a surgery that is going to keep her bedridden for a couple months, and she wanted to sell her plants because she knows that her mom isn't going to be able to take care of all the really, really, really rare plants. I present you Philodendron gigas, which is probably the top wishlist houseplant that I have right now that I can actually attain. A couple months ago, I actually did buy one of these and then I had to return it because, like I said in the other video, the guy said that there was a tropical storm. I wouldn't get it for a month. I was like, hey, can I need my money then? Here, I'll show you. This is the other one I got. This was a gift from my very, very dear and close friend, Brooke. She has, I guess, been wanting to buy me a houseplant for a really long time, and then when she saw my wish list, we got to talking and she asked if, well, she didn't ask, I told her no. It was a whole thing. Anyways, she did purchase me this houseplant, which made me cry, and I waited for her to be able to be available for a FaceTime so that we could unbox it together. And Brooke, you are so amazing. Like, the fact that we ever met and that we clicked so much and have basically become best friends just like warms my heart so much. I never ever thought I would meet someone as amazing as you, just like in general, you know, someone that I was just on the same page with all the time. And we met through YouTube, which is just so insane because like the fact, like this is, I don't deserve this. So I just want to say thank you, and I just want to very publicly thank you because like what the somehow was able to get 2 plants in 1 week. This one I actually purchased myself. This one was gifted to me, and Brooke, again, thank you so much. What the heck? I can't wait to gift you a plant that's on your wish list someday. Anyways, yeah, so this is the philodendron gigas, and I am so in love. The fact that I own this plant, just, I can't even put into words how incredible it is. It is definitely my favorite philodendron that exists next to the philodendron ilsamanii. Spiritus Sancti is cool, but like the Adapapoense is so similar to it. It's just like, you know, I don't know. That's kind of a sin to say, but all hail philodendron gigas. It is the best plant in the world. Okay, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? Okay, that being said, I have a ton more houseplants coming this week for my shop that I have purchased or I've traded with, or again, there's another gift that is coming to me. So there are going to be many, many unboxings this week, or maybe I'll just make it like one big super unboxing, but yeah, and now I'm gonna show you my houseplant shop and how I kind of have it set up. And again, thank you, Christopher, so much for letting me have this office space. I know he never ever watches my videos, but he could have easily asked or just said that he really wanted to have the one extra room in our house as his gaming room, and it is really, really nice that he is letting me have it, because now it's going to be used as my home office instead of just like a separate room for me to edit videos in, because again, we're both loud. Christopher and I are both loud, and when we're editing or playing games in the same room, we really get on each other's nerves. So it's like my home office. Like, this is like my shop. It's here. This is the room. So this is my shop. These 4 boxes contain all of the propagations I have taken to get my shop kind of started. That is my shop. And now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna take you on a little tour of my shop and show you the plants, because that's what you're here for, to see my shop. Because I quit my job to start a plant store. Right, Chris? Yeah, I did. So starting off strong, we have this top box. And in here, oh, this is the exciting box. Okay, so this is a philodendron verrucosum. I actually forgot to show you in the other video, which I'm so sorry about. This is the plant that I purchased from Sydney. She sold me this verrucosum, which is a top cutting, and you can see the new leaf is coming in right there. She sold me this for only $40, which is like a saint's job. Like, what the heck, that is so nice. Then we have my Melanochrysum verrucosum, which people are now calling Philodendron splendid. I refuse to accept that name. It is a verrucosum. Okay, then we have all of my Standaleona cuttings. Like, there's a ton of them. Like, a ton. And I am rooting everything in perlite because I asked around with my friend Chloe, and she grows all her plants in leca, but she said her new favorite medium is actually perlite. So it's working out really well. The plants are doing really, really good since being in here, and none of them have started rotting in any way. Like, even these teeny tiny little Hoya monoloa cuttings are doing really, really good. Here is a tiny note I have of my Burl-Marx Fantasy. Here's my other Burl-Marx Fantasy. I did trade one of my Burl-Marx Fantasies for a verrucosum that is going to be coming in the mail soon. Here is another Hoya monoloa cutting, and the last third Hoya monoloa cutting. And then I do have, like, guys, don't worry, like, I have my plant. I didn't cut up the whole thing, but I did decide that, like, hey, you know, that's gonna be like a valuable resource for my shop. No one really sells that in their shops, so I thought that'd be nice. And then it gives you guys a chance to buy it. And I sell them for way, way, way under market price. So, but yeah, here's all my Sandaliana. I love this leaf a lot. This is like my favorite one, and I'm probably gonna keep that one. The little Hoya Chelseas are in here, so it's just so cute. I just love it. And then all these like just loose nodes are all sticking roots down in soil or in perlite. And those are the Rhaphidophora decursiva nodes. And that over there is the Rhaphidophora decursiva. It's pretty cool. Anyways, you guys were loving those. So I probably actually would have sold out if I had sold all of them, but I need to keep some to grow plants. And then this is my personal Burl Marks Fantasy. This is a top cutting I took from my plant, which is currently rooting. It does have a really, really, really nice aerial root, but that is the one I'm going to be keeping for myself, and the other two, or three that I have, I'm going to be growing into top cuttings. Well, into shop plants, basically. What are you doing? You playing with that dead leaf? Raven! I bought Raven her first plant. She gets some cat grass. She's been loving it, and these two things on the floor are like her favorite toys. Raven! What are you doing? She's going crazy. Okay, this is box number 2. Ooh, okay. I have a ton of Micans cuttings, and this is one of the Micans boxes. But in here we have my philodendron domesticums and my mexicanums, which actually, no, that is a domesticum. Yeah, my mexicanums are over here. Here are 2 of them. And then this one right here has actually started putting out this leaf since I put it in the perlite. So it really likes the perlite. And then here's the 4th one right here. Then we have a ton of these Micans, obviously. These are single plants that are singly rooted. And then I'm gonna stick about 5 or 6 in a pot, and like that will be the plant. And then I'll grow that out. And yeah, then we have my Campospore toanum philodendrons that are sticking in here, hanging out, enjoying life. They got tons of aerial roots, and obviously more domesticum, and then I have a couple billy ties in here doing their thing. Okay, here we have box number 3. This is a fun box. So this is, actually I do have some of my personal plants that I'm rooting in here. So like this is a Hoya Jennifer, and then Hoya EPC something, and then my Croniana Eskimo is in here, killing it. I got that from Harley. Oh, it is in there, okay. Then we have my Hoya Numelarioides. These are actual shop plants, so I'm going to be rooting these to sell on my shop. Then we have my huge Adibapoense cuttings that are killing it at life, honestly. They're doing their best. And then this is, she's going insane. Raven! So this is the mini Adibapoense I have right now, and this is its double leaf, which is pretty cool. And it actually has a double petiole, which you can kind of see. And I am rooting this one as well. She's chilling like a villain. And then I did end up just cutting up that big Adibapoense that I had because I realized there was something wrong with it. So this is all that remains of my big plant, but it's okay because I have 2 more Adibapoense over there. Then we have my Hoya elliptica that are hanging out in the soil, or in the perlite. I need to stop calling everything soil. My boxes did kind of fall down the other day, so a couple things in here are a little messy. Here is a big chunk of my Adibapoense hanging out right there. Then we have my variegated string of heart cuttings that I have going. And I hope that these do okay in here. We're gonna find out. I've never really successfully done variegated string of hearts, so it's okay. I didn't cut up a plant or anything. I just took a couple cuttings off of there. So, all right. Then we have the 4th box, which is just Micans. I have a lot of Micans, and spread throughout this box are individual nodes. And then I wanted to experiment with variegated peperomia, like watermelon peperomia. So I do have this one going, but I don't have like a huge variegated peperomia for me to like chop up a bunch from. But this box is literally just Micans. There are, I think, like 40 different leaves in here, and then 37 loose nodes that I have tucked in to the soil or to the perlite. All that matters is that the aerial roots that are emerging experience a ton of humidity so they can turn into fuzzy roots and then root themselves down. So, and I mean, obviously my shop are the plants that I have that I can propagate plants from, but I really want there to be a clear line between my plants that I don't cut and the plants that I've grown for my shop that do, because there are certain plants that I really don't ever want to touch. Like this Micans is absolutely mine. This is the one I got from Arium. It is the best quality Micans I have, and I have 4 other Micans. Like this Calistophylla, I absolutely never want to touch. This EPC 301, which has purple leaves, is iconic. This variegated skin, or this Sunstress Skinneriana, like the Monaloa, I don't want to have to touch again, but I might have to. You know, there's just certain plants that I really want to be just mine because they are so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like this one my friends gifted me. I'm never gonna touch this. That's kind of the system. Like I do definitely want to take a Billy Tie Paradiso Verde cutting at some point, but not for a long time because he's just starting out his journey with me. But how gorgeous are these plants together? They are just, that is an iconic photo, and look at her. Ned. We love Ned. That is my plant shop. Thank you guys for letting me tell you about it. I've been really nervous because you guys were like, oh my god, you just started working in a nursery, and like now you're quitting. I got really sick and I felt like I was a burden because I was sick so much. I had to have people cover me all the time. So I was like, I'm just gonna quit. I'm just gonna do it myself. So I quit my job to start a plant shop. And then again, my goal is sometime, like at the longest in the next 5 years, try to get a brick and mortar store. But all the money from the sales that I'm going to be making, any extra leftover from bills, is not going to be going to plants. It is going to be going into a savings account so that I can rent a property here in Boise, Idaho, and start my little plant shop. I will do a name reveal of my shop sometime soon. But yeah, and for those of you who care a lot about my content and you know all the stuff that I do, you'll know that I have been selling plants like here and there since, when was it? It was, I think April 27th is when I opened up my Etsy shop a year ago, like last April 27th, and it was Plant Me Ashley Plant Shop. It was actually a different name, but things happened. And then I changed it to the Plant Crossing, and the Plant Crossing was just like a cute name I had because I couldn't use the other name apparently. Yeah, I have this awesome new name for my plant shop, and I can't wait to tell you what it is, but I have to get it licensed first so that no one steals it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Please support me on Patreon. The link is patreon.com/PlantMeAshley, and that is where you can join a vast community of 117 amazing patrons. And we keep it kosher there, okay? We keep it kosher. And if you don't keep it kosher, you're gone. If you want to come hang out, it costs $1 a month to hang out in the Discord with us, and there are a bunch of other tiers, a $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, and $50 tier. All of those tiers have way different benefits. If you're curious about any of them, just check out the very first link in the description. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next houseplant section. Also, I bought a calendar so that I won't forget to post videos when I'm tired. I'll have everything planned out, so even though I'm exhausted nowadays for no reason, hopefully it is not Lyme disease, I won't forget to post videos. But if there are days where a video doesn't go up on schedule, please understand. I am sick, trying to figure out what's wrong. Thank you for your time. Goodbye! Goodbye!